Sedjati, Wanyonyi on the inside, 1:41.
Kipyegon's going to be close. It's very close. It's there. A new world record. Attempt 2:10. Have a guess what happens here. Yes, he gets it. World record. Unbelievable scenes. Paris does it again.
2.09 meters. The women's high jump world record has stood for 37 years. And while few athletes have gone close historically, over this past decade, this world record could have been considered one of the safest in the entire sport. And for good reason. The top two jumpers of this current generation were still 3 centimeters away from equaling it, and one of them is barred from competition. But it's like the Paris magic came early, because not only was this record looking untouchable in the grand scheme of the sport, but it definitely wasn't looking to be broken today. At 198, the competition was getting thin. Pretty typical. Ukraine's Mahuchikh is looking good, over easy, standard work for the young lady. Australia's Yaroslava follows suit on her second attempt, giving it a nice wobble, and Serbia's Topic on her third, also tickling it to equal her own national record.
Attempt to equal her own national record, and she does.
But weirdly looking disappointed while she does it. 2:01 weeds out Topic, but both Mahuchikh and Yaroslava go over with some hefty room to spare.
2 meters. So great.
But 2.03 meters is generally where both these girls tap out. Mahuchikh barely skates over, and she's happy with that. You get a sense the end of this competition is near. And that it is. Yaroslava is unable to get over.
Not quite.
If you've ever been the last person standing in a high jump competition, you know this is where it can get really fun, because from here on, you have nothing to lose. Mahuchikh elects to attempt 2:07 for a new personal best, and a height that would land her in the top 4 of all time. But keep in mind, she scraped 2:03 and missed her first 2:07 attempt.
Mahuchikh has put the bar up to 2:07. Wow, second attempt here for Mahuchikh. That is massive from Yaroslava Mahuchikh. What a jump. That is higher than she has ever jumped before by a centimeter.
Where the hell did this come from? An absolutely magical clearance, nothing but air, and the celebration goes wild. But it's over as quick as it happened. Job's not finished. Coach and Mahuchikh agree. It's 2:10 time. A would-be world record. This is a height she's attempted before. It's something she's openly talked about. But prior to today, her personal best stood at 2:06. So a 4 centimeter increase into a world record, that is completely unheard of in this event.
World record. Attempt 2:10. Have a guess what happens here. Yes, she gets it. Mahuchikh clears 2 meters and 10. That is an outright world record in the women's high jump for the Ukrainian. Unbelievable scene.
There was no one expecting this world record to be broken this year. But on her very first attempt, with the intensity of 1,000 suns, she just flies. And yet, her story is far, far from over because she's only 22. Mahuchikh has been literally winning medals since her 18th birthday, in which she won a silver at the 2019 World Championships. A 4 centimeter personal best, a Diamond League win by 9 centimeters, a 37-year-old world record cracked, and right in front of your main competition at this year's Olympics. Coming in less than 20 days, mind you. You can't lay down a bigger threat than that. Whew. Now from the unexpected to the expected. The women's 1500 meter saw their favourite by 4 seconds, Faith Kipyegon, challenging her personal best, also known as the world record. But unlike her other 2 world record runs, this one was different. There's an Australian looming over her shoulder in Jessica Hull, and this race very quickly became a duet. Just these two nestled behind the paces, going stride for stride, slowly creating a void between them and the pack. And Kipyegon was uncomfortable, looking back, wondering who the hell is this close.
Absolutely, as you know, I was like, who is following me?
So whether it was the pressure, or she was just feeling good. At 250 meters, Kipyegon breaks out into a flying sprint, and Hull tries with everything she has to hold on for dear life.
Very, very quickly here. It's going to be an incredibly quick time. Laura Muir's rallied in 3rd place. Kipyegon's going to be close. It's very close. It's there. She's got it. A new
3 minutes, 49.04 seconds, eking out her own world record by 0.07 seconds. And in the back, hull within an incredible 3-minute 50.83 second time, a ridiculous 5-second personal best, now placing her as the 5th fastest athlete ever in this event. This frame exactly represents how far the 5th fastest to ever do it is, behind Kipyegon, the world record holder. Kipyegon is just straight up a monster. That makes this her 22nd 1500 meter win in a row. Surely she has negative odds to take gold at this year's Olympics. But 2 world records still couldn't stop the men's 800 meter from being the fastest collective race in the history of the event. Only 2 weeks ago, we saw absolute ridiculousness at the Kenyan Olympic trials, when Wanyonyi, Djamel and Sedjati all went sub 143, rearranging the top 10 fastest 800 meter runners of all time. Now imagine that, but 6 guys going sub 143, and 3 of them going below 142. In a disgustingly gritty blanket finish, Algeria's Sedjati takes the win in 141.56 seconds.
Trying to come back, I think Sedjati gets it. 1:41.55.
0.02 seconds ahead of world leader Wanyonyi. And the stats from this race are straight up outrageous. Sedjati dropped his personal best by 1.5 seconds en route to the 3rd fastest time in the history of the event. The top 5 finishers each earned a spot in the top 10 all-time list, with Wanyonyi becoming the 4th fastest ever, Twal is now 5th, and Chimenengwa and Djamel are now 10th equal. 4 runners also ran national records, and 8 of the 10 athletes in this field ran a personal best. Also, Kenya is so competitive. Chimenengwa, now top 10 of all time, didn't even make the Olympic team the other week. Now let's take a break from the historic with a bit of normalcy. Superwomen can't stop winning. Valerie Ullman makes it 9 wins in a row out in Paris with a 68.07 meter throw.
And I think that could be her furthest throw.
Foreshadowing perhaps. Paulino, our most recent world champion in the women's 400 meter, was scheduled to fight Kaczmarek in the ring, but put her down with a round 1 KO in 49.20 seconds.
Way ahead, the time 49.20.
Kaczmarek really not looking herself in this race. And lastly for Paris, Duplantis sails over 6 meters.
For the Swede, that's better. There you go.
Light work, then waits out the clock, having a mental battle with the wind at 6:25. Keep in mind, this is his 8th meet attempting a world record this year, and he didn't get it. Just saving it for the Olympics. And same day out in the Netherlands, we saw some top fields at the Fanny Blankers-Koen meet. And hey, some sprints were on. Omanyala heads back overseas after his 9.79, where the air is thicker and the pressure is on.
Omanyala's made a good start. Now to Grass coming into his running, but it's Omanyala from
10.01 seconds. This guy is a hometown hero confirmed. And Andre de Grasse has been getting the benefit of the doubt all season since he usually competes so well at championships. But 10.07 seconds, this close to the Olympics? Femke Bol also made an appearance. Spoilers, 50.02 seconds. But, pay attention to the race. People are out here saying she's confirmed an Olympic silver, as an insult mind you, which is kind of funny, because she's not touching McLaughlin Lavroni in the 4 hurdles with a flat time like this. She's cruising. She ran 49.17 seconds indoors. You know this isn't her game face. She's hiding her true power levels, and she will challenge McLaughlin Lavroni regardless of what I said last video. Bol is done. And very lastly, sometime midweek, Italy's Fabri in the men's shot goes for his 3rd mark over 22.9 meters. And it's actually 22.9 on the dot. He's absolutely dominating this event right now, if we weren't in the golden age of the men's shot put. You all know me. I'm less of a fan of the high jump than I am completely obsessed with it. And when I woke up to the news of a women's high jump world record being broken, I was convinced it was a joke. At only 22 years old, she probably has a good chance of breaking it again. But I have a feeling we will see one of her records stand for another 30 plus years. And yeah, I missed some results. Busy week, you know. Subscribe.